Hello and welcome back. So today's video we're going to be going through a pattern that I have designed. This is for anybody that's gone out and bought said pattern, and if anything's confusing at all within the said pattern. We've got two different versions. We've got a chart pattern and we've also got some written instructions as well, and that's mainly what I'm going to be going over. I don't know if this is normal for Mosaic Crochet patterns, because I tend to work off charted patterns and then write them up myself. I find it easier doing that because I can actually count the number of stitches and then write them down. It just works for me for some reason, and for that reason I've written up a pattern that I'm actually going to show you as well, and I'm going to go through the first couple of rows of this pattern to see if it to try and explain it. I think it's better to see it in action. I am going to show you, this is my original pattern for when I was designing this blanket. I had originally written it up like this, with the number of repeats that you can see on there, so I did 7 repeats in total. So that was my original pattern, so this is much better organised now. So I've just shown you that and you didn't actually see it. I forgot to change camera. Face and hand. There we go. That's the one you want. So this was my old pattern. This is what I had been working off before, and is probably how I work off a lot of my Mosaic Crochet patterns. So if I see a pattern or a chart somewhere that I like, I will write it out like this. I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if everybody does that. Could well be that we all do the same thing without realising we're doing it. So this is my pattern, and you've probably already seen what it looks like in the blue and the rainbow colour. It is inspired by the colours of the Bifrost in the Marvel series. Of course, I've got to get Loki in there somewhere. He follows me around. Right, I wish. So, actually no, I don't wish that at all. So this is the pattern as it is at the moment. This is the test pattern, so I'm running through this as a test myself to make sure it's working, and this is what I am currently working on. So this is the note section, which is also within the pattern. I'm going to be doing a cushion cover with this, and I'm going to be doing the colours slightly different. I wanted to see what it would look like in white and rainbow, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I need 3 parts for this cushion. I need the back, or the front. I'm going to be doing an envelope fold, so I need 2 other parts for the envelope fold. This is half the size, and then this is 3/4 of this size. So that's what I'm going to be working on. And then here we have my actual pattern, and this is the way I've written it out. And this is why it might seem a bit different to most people, because the way the way I've seen patterns written in the past is they are always written in words, basically, with a few abbreviations like DC and SC for double crochet and single crochet, whereas this has no words, it's just numbers, with single crochet and double crochet here. So basically what this means is you will do 4 single crochets. Now you might think you should carry on reading across this way, but you don't. What you do is you do 4, then you come down here for 1, then you come back up for 1, and then you come back down for 1, up for 1, down for 1, up for 1, down for 1, and then up for 11, then down for 1, up for 1, up for 1, down, up, until you get to the end. This is a 40 row repeat, sorry, a 40 stitch repeat over 40 rows as well. So you should end up having a total of 40 stitches all the way along. So here, for example, I need to look at that because I'm not sure why that number's there, because it definitely doesn't add up to 7. This should be the stitch count here, so 32 across here and then 8 here adds up to 40. I'm going to sneeze, bear with me 1 second. Sorry about that. Let's see that one coming. Oh, right, so what was I saying? So you will have your stitch count along here to tell you should have 32 and 8, 34 and 8 and 6 and so on and so forth. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a couple of rows of this so you can actually have a look and see how it works. I'm going to be working with, unfortunately it is white. I'm hoping it's going to pick up on camera. Well, it's not perfectly white. So what I will do is I will move the keyboard out of the way. I shall put the pattern there so at least you can see it against the purple back in there. I have done the first section here, so this is a 2 pattern repeat. I'm not sure how many rows that's going to be yet. I didn't bother with the maths. And what you can see is I've done a section here of half double crochets. You don't need to do that. You can just cast on, wow. You can just chain the number of stitches you want plus 2 or 3, depending on how you look at it. So in this case, I've got a repeat of 2, so I've got 80 stitches plus 2, and then 1 for the turning chain, which would make it 83. So single crochet, and then I kept going back and forth with half double crochets. So that's chain 40 plus 1, then chain 40 plus 1, then plus 1 for your turning chain, and then come back on yourself for a single crochet. Then you start your actual pattern in the colour that you want to go with. So that's what I've already started doing here. So what I've done here is my first row, is single crochet in the back loop only, all the way across, apart from the first and the last stitches. So I'm going to take out this stitch marker because this marks my 40th stitch. I'm just going to pop that in there. And then I've got 41 stitches here, so I'm just going to do a single crochet in the back loop only for 40 stitches. Okay, so this is the last single crochet through the back loop, and then we've got 1 stitch left, and in that last stitch we are going to do a single crochet, just a normal single crochet. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put my stitch marker in through that stitch, because, and I'm going to go, you might not be able to see it on this one, but I will show you again in the other colour. But I'm going through the V of the stitch. So if the bottom of the stitch looks like this, I'm going through that section there. And then I'm just going to trim off. Now, what I've come used to doing in my with my blanket is I kind of come up with a measurement of my own, so I know how much. So with my, I'll start again. My original blanket, I've not tied in any ends. I've cut every row and I've not tied any ends, and I come up with my own little measurement, so I always knew I was leaving the same amount of yarn, and that was to wrap it around my fingers, all 4 fingers, pull it quite tight, take my fingers out, and then trim around about a centimetre and a half away from the edge, and then pull it through. Now, if you do that every time, you'll always get the right amount of tail, and you can trim it back if you need to later. You know it's going to be long enough to cover whatever length you want later on. So I am now just getting the rainbow colour out, and I'm going to show you how to start a row. Bearing what I've just said in mind, we are going to, first off, we're going to start in again in the middle of the 2 V's. So I'm going to find my very first single crochet, which was a single crochet, not back loop only. I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to do the same thing and wrap it around my 4 fingers once. Take the yarn, slip it on the hook and then pull it through, and I'm going to go instantly into doing a chain 1 so I don't lose the length on that. And that is my first stitch. No, it's not my first stitch, that's me getting in. And now I'm going to go in and do a single crochet through that V stitch, through the V of the stitch, not through the V stitch. There's 2 different things. I'm going to put a stitch marker in just so I've got it there. I just got into the habit of doing it, to be honest with you. And now what we're going to do is we're going to revert to the chart. So the chart tells us that we need to do 4 single crochets. So I'm going to do 4 single crochets into the back loop. So every time you do a single crochet, it's always done in the back loop. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've done the 4. We're now going to drop down to the double crochet and we're going to do a double crochet, and we're going to do that into the previous row, and we're actually going to do it into the loop that's left over from our from where we've done the back loop, the single crochet in the back loop. That leaves us with a loop at the front of the work, so we're going to use that to do our double crochet. So there's our double crochet. We're going to ignore the stitch that's behind that one, and then we're going to start working into the next one, where we do 1 single crochet in the back loop, and then our next stitch is a double crochet, and our next stitch is a single crochet. Our next one is a double crochet. So I'm going to stop there and have a look at our work. So what we've got is we've got 4 single crochets in the back loop plus 1, which we are always going to ignore. So we've got our 4 single crochets, our double. Yep, have I gone too far down on that? I think I went too far down. Let's go back. No, I think that one was right and the other 2 were wrong, you know. I feel like it was definitely easier to see in the blue yarn, to be honest with you. we've now got a double crochet, a single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. If we look at our pattern, we've got 4 single, a double, a single, a double, a single, a double, and we do that all the way across until we get to 11 over here. So we need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets along the bottom here. So let's do that, knowing that every time we do a double, we're going to be doing a single. One, two, three, 4, 5, and then this one is number 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4 singles plus these 4 singles. Now what we need to do is 11 single crochets. So we do 11 single crochets. That's 11 single crochets done. Sorry for knocking the camera there. So we go back and we double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then from there we're now going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 4 double crochets alternating with some singles. So I'm going to come back down to this one and do a double, back up for a single, back down for a double, back up for a single, and then back down for a double, and that should be the right number of stitches. Oh. There we go. Can't find that one. So 1, 2, 3. So we did our 11. We then drop down for 1, go back up for 1, back down for 1, back up for 1, back down for 1, and then we've got to do 3 single crochets. And then back down to a double. Okay, so I was just looking at my pattern, and this is why we test. This 7 should actually be here, so I need to do these 7 stitches here. Because we're on, I've just double checked and counted that this is missing 7 stitches. So we're just going to put 7 stitches in here. So if we just double check that now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I don't know why I just did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So there's our 40 stitches. So I obviously went wrong when I was counting my stitches. It's fine. Like I say, this is a cushion cover. The ends are going to be sewn together, so I don't mind if I've got a few extra stitches on one end. If you're doing a blanket, you might want to double check your stitch count first. So we've got 40 stitches going along here. So we're going to have 40 and a few on this side. So I might have to fiddle with it a bit, but you know, that's crochet. Fudge it. Nothing's ever perfect. So where we've done all of that, we're now going to do the exact same thing again. So we're going to do 4 stitches, 4 single crochets, so we've done the 4 single crochets, then we're going to go down for 1, up for 1, down for 1, up for 1, So we've done our 4 single crochets, 1 double, 1 single, 1 double, 1 single, 1 double, 1 single, 1 double, 1 single, 1 double, and now we're going to work 11 single crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I did 1 too many. And then after that 11, we need to do a group of 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do a double. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that gives us our 3 double crochets and our 2 single. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then we're going to do 3 single crochets. And our 1, and then our 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm then going to do a single crochet there, another single crochet there, and another single crochet there. I need to figure out whether or not I'm happy with that, because some of this is going to be used up in the seam allowance. So am I happy with that? I think I probably am. I think I'm going to go with it. So I'm now going to cut off my yarn. Again, I wouldn't need to really worry too much about this with this being a cushion, and all of my ends are going to get I don't know what I'm going to do with my ends with this cushion actually, I need to think about that. But for the time being, I'm going to keep my ends at the same length as I did with my original blanket. So there you go, that's row number 2/1 of the repeat. So that is the first pattern in the repeat part of the pattern. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our next colour, or our original colour. So we bring out this one, and we're not turning on work, we're going to stay working on this side with always having the work facing us. I'm putting my crochet hook in between the V's of the stitch. Making sure I've got enough yarn for the fringe. And I'm just going to pop a single crochet in there, but remember this is just, we ignore the stitch, but it just gives a really nice edge, which I can actually show I can actually show you what that looks like. Ooh. So here is my blanket. So let's have a look. So if we look along this edge just here, you can see this is the, what edge is this? I can't actually tell the difference anymore. I can't tell if that's the wrong side or the right side anymore. Not the wrong side, but upside and downside. Okay. No, didn't help. Did not help. But either way, this so if you look at here, we have these. Turn it around. This is the last stitch. Where's it gone? It's so black, it's so big I can't get it on the table. And I'm trying to turn it around so you can see it. So this is the last stitch of the pattern, and it produces these V stitches going all the way up, which gives it a nice edge all the way up the side there. That's on the last stitch, and on the first stitch it is you can see it running up here as well, which gives it a nice edge there. And again, I've not trimmed these I haven't trimmed, excuse me, I haven't trimmed these the fringe yet, but as you can see, doing that method of wrapping it around the hand and cutting it at the same point every time has certainly made them, it's made them very, very even. So I wouldn't necessarily need to trim these. I'm unsure whether I'm going to trim them or not at the moment. I don't know. I'm still working on the top edge, so a little bit to go on that one. Let's get rid of that. That's a heavy little so-and-so. So then what you basically do, so we're going to work on the next row. And looking at our next row, we're going to start with 3 single crochets. So we're going to work 3 single crochets, like I say, always in the back loop. So there's that 3, and then we're going to do a double crochet, and then we're going to do a single crochet, and then we're going to do a double crochet, and a single crochet, and a double crochet, a single crochet, a double crochet. Now I'm going to check to see where I am in the pattern. So I've done 3 singles, and then I've done 1, 2, 3, 4 doubles, 2, 3, 4, which is exactly what I needed, and 3 singles, which is 1, 2, 3. So now I'm going to go on to do 13 single crochets. So I've done 13 single crochets, and then I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets, but with single crochets in between. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's number 4 with 3 single crochets, and then I'm going to do 10 single crochets, which hopefully should bring me up to my last stitch if my calculations are correct. That's number 9, and then that one is number 10. Take stitch marker off. Put the stitch marker in, and I am putting the stitch marker in the back loop just to make it easier on me. And then we're going to start again. So we do 3 single crochets, and then we count how many doubles we need before we need a big number. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 with a single crochet in between. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do 13 single crochets. 1, 2, that's 13, and then we want 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need 10 of them. I've done my first one, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I'm going to do a single crochet in the center of the V stitch. So let's see if I can get that a bit better. So I'm going to go in the center of that V of the stitch, And there you go. You can just now see that that's in the centre of it, and it's separated out that V to make it a bit wider. And then just because I can, I'm just going to go across to here, do a couple of single crochets, measure the yarn over my hand, trim that off, and that's that row done. And that is basically it. That's basically the pattern. However, I have got a couple of notes to make that I want to point out. There are a couple of rows, almost every single row starts in a single crochet. There are some rows that do not. There is this particular row here, whereas in this row you are basically doing, you start with a double crochet and then you do a single crochet and a double crochet and a single crochet and a double crochet and a single crochet all the way across. And then you go back to doing single crochet as your first stitch. Then you're going to go over to the next page. Oh, that's a little annoying. That's a printer problem, not a pattern problem. And then we come down here, for example. We do the same thing with the double crochet, single crochet, but then with this particular one here, it looks like we start with 9 single crochets, but in actual fact we start with 1 double crochet, then go up and do the 9, back down for the 1, up for the 3, down for the 1, up for the 1, and then we keep doing this all the way across. And in this instance, you'd usually be going in this sort of motion. Where's my pen? And I'll show you what I mean. So the way you would normally work this is you'd start here, go here, there, here, and you would end up having this sort of up, up. So it'd be from left to right, left to right, left to right. Whereas when you're doing this one down here, it goes a bit like this. And I'm even having issues drawing it because it feels a bit alien to me. So it's 1 to 8, 1 to 3, 1 to 1, 1. So as you can see, it goes in a slightly different way. So that's leaning off to the right, and then that one's leaning off to the left in a different way. So I don't know if I've just made that even worse and harder to understand. But all of this is just to say you can use the chart, which is in here somewhere. There's the chart. So you can still use the chart, and you can use a charted pattern. The only reason I dislike using a charted pattern is because I'm forever counting stitches. If I was to use this chart, I'd be like, okay, so I've got to do 3 single crochets. Then it just doesn't work for me, and I find it just so much easier for me to sit down and work out what I'm doing. And then write them up. That's what I would do. If I was to download a chart, I would go straight into that chart and dissect it and write it up like this. Just makes it so much easier for me. I understand why people don't write these patterns up, because they do take a long time to write up. So I understand why they come like that. But there is the beginning couple of rows of this particular pattern. If you've got any questions, pop them in the group, pop them in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. I was just double checking I was recording then because I got really worried. Yeah, pop them in the comments box. I will come back to you as soon as I can. And I hope you enjoy it. It's a really, really fun pattern. It's not going to be out yet because I do need to just... I don't know actually. I'm filming this video in advance because I can't put the pattern out until the video is ready. So, ignore everything I've just said. Ignore everything I've just said. By the time this video goes live, this pattern will be out. It's not out now, but by the time it goes live, it should be up and you should be able to buy it. So yeah, I was just thinking I might do it as a free download. Either way, follow the link. You'll be able to go over and get it. The link will be in the box, in the comments box. Check the pattern out there. Let me know if you've got any problems. I'll do my best to answer them as best I can. And I hope you enjoy it. It's really, really fun. I love the colour options, the colour differences. And I even thought about doing an ombre, a red and black ombre version as well, which I really like the sound of. So I might even end up doing that at some point. So, well, thanks ever so much for watching this video. It's been a 40-minute video, which I really weren't expecting. I only expected this to be about 10 to 15 minutes, but there's a lot to go in on these sort of blankets. But I really do hope you enjoy making it, and I'll move on to the next pattern, which I am already started. So anyway, that's it for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I will see you next time. Bye.